message on Canvas as well, because many of you somehow then choose not to use the HCC email address, and I can understand that. Now, I do recommend, though, if you are taking this course, and I do recommend that you link your HCC email to your smartphone. That way, or the Canvas message to your smartphone. That way, when I send out a message, you can delete that. I know after the course is over, you don't want to receive any more messages there, and you can delete that link after the course is concluded. But the best way to stay in touch is since you have a smartphone, is to hook yourself up to the email system of the college there. That way you won't miss anything there. Whenever I send out a message on Canvas there, if you link HCC email to your smartphone, you will receive a notification. Okay. And back in the old days when we first started using Canvas, you cannot reply a Canvas message unless you log into Canvas. Now, you can actually, after you receive the email notification from your HCC account, you can actually type in a reply from your HCC email address there for Canvas messages there. And if you log into Canvas there, of course, you can always type in a response there. Okay, so let's. Remote it's going to be difficult for me, but I'll try to manage. So our first chapter, we are going to talk about some basic things about the chemistry. And this is more, for some of you who have had some high school chemistry before, this is more like a review chapter. And what we're trying to do here is that we're going to, how we define matter. What are we looking at? What are we studying when you take this course, when you study chemistry? What are we studying there? How do we solve problems? Okay, so the first assignment is that I need you to read the first chapter. That's page 1 through page 23 of the textbook there. And also go through your learning objective. And you know what the learning objective is, and you know where to find them. Go through the learning objectives of chapter 1. I have the learning objective posted on Canvas, so make sure you go through those learning objectives there. And then start working on homework number 1. Remember, you have 111 questions, give or take, on the first homework assignments there. That covers chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So once we finish a particular topic in the lecture there, you want to do those exercises in your homework assignments there. Okay. Now, one thing about the chemistry, and we want to point out, math and chemistry are inseparable. Okay. So numbers and mathematics are an inherent part, an unavoidable part of chemistry. You must possess secondary algebra skills and the ability to recognize orders of magnitude quickly with respect to numerical information, and in order to be successful. If you have a lot of trouble with math, you will have a lot of trouble in this particular course. However, that said, it's not something that if you have issues with math there, as long as we correct those issues quickly, we can still do chemistry. But just a warning, fair warning, and math is, you got quite a bit of math involved in chemistry here. So that's just part of the course there. Okay. And learning chemistry really is like learning a language. I always, when I introduce myself, I always say I'm trilingual. I speak Mandarin Chinese, I understand a little bit of Cantonese, I speak English, I also speak chemistry. So in a sense, you may have student and the PowerPoint's in there, so, well, he's just reading out the part. No, I'm trying to translate what's in English, what's in chemistry into English. And I want to do that in Chinese, but I can't. Most of you won't be able to understand that. So whatever is on the PowerPoint there, and I'm just trying to translate that chemistry information, language and chemistry, into English there. So you need to pay attention to these things there. And when we study chemistry, what is chemistry all about? Chemistry is the science that seeks to understand the behavior of matter by studying the behavior of atoms and molecules. Okay. So anytime that you see a colored word, red or green or blue or yellow for that matter, and something that you need to pay attention to. And also in this course, every time I say the D word, definition, you should think about the M word, memorization. You have to memorize the definition. You have to know the definition in order to be able to answer some of the questions in homework. And when you take the exams there, many of the homework exam questions are related to the definition. If you do not memorize some basic definition, you cannot answer those questions there. Okay, so how do we define matter? That's a D word. Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. So basically, everything that we encounter in our daily life is matter. Water has mass, occupies space. Air has mass, occupies space. Okay, so chemistry is the study of pretty much everything that we encounter. So this is how we define matter. Anything that has mass and occupies space. And anything and everything that we deal with has mass and occupies space. Okay, and this is from your textbook on page 5 in the definition there. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about in this particular chapter there, we're going to look into matter. There are different kinds of matter, obviously. There are gas, there are solid, and there are liquid. Okay, and there are compounds, there are individual elements, and there are pure matter, your pure substance, you have mixtures, and all that. So we will give you a definition of, a classification of matter, if you will, and we will also introduce how do we measure, since we're trying to study the behavior of the matter there, we need to make sure that we know how to measure them by mass, by volume, in terms of quantity. And then problem solving. So the first learning objective, we're going to give you a lot of D words, a lot of definition. Okay, so we want you to be able to define and classify these different terms there. What is an element? What is an atom? Compound, molecule, mixture, pure substance, and so on and so forth. Okay, so in this particular chapter, we are going to have 4 or 5 different learning objectives there. Each learning objective have a different focus. The first one, focus on the basic definition. Okay, here we have, this is a table, actually a picture from your textbook there. The classification of matter. Under the big roof of matter, we would classify matter as pure substance and mixture. Okay, so those are the first 2 large categories. For the pure substance, we ask the question, can we separate the pure substance into simpler, smaller substances? If yes, then you have a compound. If no, then you have an element there. Okay, and then for the mixture there, do we have a uniform appearance? Yes, then we have homogeneous mixture. No, and we have heterogeneous mixture. So these are give you some examples there. Okay, so helium is an element. You cannot separate helium to any simpler matter. Helium is composed of helium atom. Okay, so that's an element. The water as an example, pure substance there. H2O. That means you have 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen atom, combined together chemically. And that is a pure substance. You can't, yet you can still separate them into smaller particles, like hydrogen atoms, or hydrogen gas, or oxygen gas, through a chemical reaction. Okay? But it itself, it has a unit of H2O there. That's a pure substance there. Now, mixtures, heterogeneous mixture or homogeneous mixture there, and you have sugar dissolved in water. You can't really tell which part is sugar